Hello everyone, welcome to our new video. In our previous video, we have discussed that how can we create a method, and we have also discussed the different components of the method or function. Now in this video, we are going to discuss how we can invoke a function or a method. So let's start the video. See, what is actually invoking a method? The process of using a method in a program. It is referred to as calling method or invoking a method or a function. Actually, here we are dealing with an user defined method. System defined methods are there separately, and user defined methods are there also. In case of a user defined method, whenever a user is creating a method for its particular purpose to resolve a task, the user is creating its own method. So there exists a process by which user can execute or user can call the method or invoke the method. Now see here, one user defined method is given as example. The method header is given public int multiply integer x y. It's a user defined method. Multiply is a user defined method accepting two parameters x and y, which will multiply two values x and y, and after multiplication the result will be returned. So it will return the multiplication result. So here the multiply, the return type of the function is int, and the two parameters that we are accepting also integer values that we are accepting from the user. And inside in the function body of the method has written, we have declared a local variable integer m, where m holds the multiplication of two variables x and y, and finally the last statement is the return m. So it's returning the multiplication result. Here the return statement is applied at the end of the method where it terminates, and we know that no statement in the method can be executed after the return statement. So whenever we are going to invoke this method, the first thing that we have to remember that we have to create an object of the class. Since it's a non-static method, it's not a static method. If the function it's a static function or static method, we can imply the keyword static just before the name of the function. But since it's a non-static method, we have to create an object of the method. Say the class name is product, so we are creating the object of the class, say ob. It's the object of the class product, and we can invoke the method by using the object. Since the method since the method is the member method of the class product, the method multiply is the member method of the class product. So to invoke the member method, we have to create the object of the class product, and hence here we have created the object of the class product, and by object, through object, we can invoke the method named multiply. So let's see how can we write the program. See here, we have designed a class named product. We have written public multiply int x y. This was the method name. Public int multiply x y. Int that has been defined to store the product of two variables x and y, and it's returning the result, the product result after multiplication. It's returning the result. And from the main we have actually called the method in this line. As you can see that in this line we have called the method ob.multiply, this method, And since it is a non-static method, that's why I have used this one, object. If it was a static method, we don't need to create the object. We can simply call the method. But since it is a non-static method, we are actually called. So that's why I've created the object. Okay. So whenever function is invoked, so here the function is invoked in this line. The function is invoked and directly the control goes here. The control goes in this function in the header statement, passing two values. Whenever the function is called at the time of calling of the method, here two values are passed, a and b, that has been accepted from the user. The value of a and b has been accepted from the user using the scanner object. I have accepted, and whenever the header in the function header, two different variables is written, x and y. So the value of a and b, the value of a and b passes, get transferred into the parameters x and y respectively in the method header. In this method body, the value are getting multiplied and the result m is returned. So the result m is returned after multiplication, which then receives here in this statement and received by another variable, say c. Here I have declared another variable, gives the returned value, which is the multiplication of two numbers. Afterwards, which will be displayed as output in the next line I have displayed here. So in this way, the function or the method invoked and it returns the value. When we are calling the function, see, we have two parameters a and b. We have passed two parameters. These are called or known as actual parameters. These are called or actual parameters. And in the method, in the method, in the method header, two different variables are also there, which are going to accept the value of a and b respectively, x and y. So these are called formal parameters. These are called or known as formal parameters. So the parameters that are described in the method header used to receive the values from its caller are called the formal parameters, whereas the values actually passed to the method at the time of its call, it is known as actual parameters. So here, when we are calling the function multiply, we are passing two values through the actual parameters a and b, which is then received by two different parameters x and y, which are formal parameters, and inside in the body of the function these values are getting multiplied and then it's returning the value, which is again received by another variable in the caller method. In the calling part, it is getting received again. Since the function is returning some value, therefore it is again received in this statement, and as a result we are displaying the output. Let's see the output of this program. So this is our terminal screen. Here we are going to two numbers, say for example one number is 3 and the other number is 4. Obviously it will show the multiplication of 3 and 4, which is 12. So the result is 12. In this way the function is invoked, and the after invoking the function it performs its task. Whatever is written in the body, it just executes those statements, and after that it returns the value. If the return type is mentioned, then it returns the value, which is then from where the function is getting called. The control transferred to at this point and accept by the variable from where it has been called. The return value is getting accepted there, received there, and we are getting printed. Value is getting after that printed. So this way we can invoke a method, we can call a method, and we can return the value if the return type is mentioned. If the function is with more than 2 parameters or 3 parameters, we can pass the parameters in this way in the format of actual parameters, and they will be received by the formal parameters. So thanks for watching the video. We will learn more about invoking a function, a different types, a different way of defining a function in our next video. So those who are not yet subscribed to this channel, subscribe this channel and hit the notification bell icon for regular updates and share the video with others. Thanks for watching.